Found it. Found the culprit. Okay, I think we're good. Sound check, sound check. Alright, we're good. Alright, that's what we needed. Alright, my bad. Alright, let's go. So, we're on Bitcoin first. This is the 4-hour USDT Bitcoin Binance chart. Alright guys, so basically we had this harmonic that we've been charting, right? So we're getting some really good follow through price action off of that D entry, right? We identified that rounded, I don't like that in my way there. We identified that kind of swing low failure pattern on a lower time frame. Even here you can see it. So anyways, right here at our D entry, right? And this was the 886 retracement between the 786 and the 886, but it was also a 1414 from B to C. So you'll see that one right here. Watch. If you go from B to C, and that B actually needs to be brought down a little bit. Okay, so that 1272 and 1414 level from B to C is where you stopped on the lower time frame, and then on the higher side, larger part of the structure, you hit the basically 786, right, and kind of just parked right on that. So that's where you had a lot of critical fib level support. And we also remember that it was a really critical area when we look back left, 5500, 55.5 basically, right? So okay, so last night, I don't know when did it happen, today I guess, we got our square up. Actually it did happen last night, because this is about 12 hours, almost 16 hours ago. So that was that area we were looking for, and we identified that as potential, potential square up area. Didn't necessarily mean that we were going to get out of the trade. It just meant that there was a chance of Bitcoin price coming up and hitting it, and then squaring all the way back up, and then running again. Like, that would not have been out of the question. Now that we're over it, that's a good sign. Next, we have that critical area where we had 58.4. Okay, so 58.4 is next. It's got to be up here somewhere, right there. So it's going to be this area. Okay, yeah, you could see back here there's a lot of action right on that level, where you basically, it was resistance, support, failed, support, failed, resistance. You see what I mean? It's just a really tough area right now as far as any sort of overhead resistance that we got. 58.4 has kind of been the magic number. Excuse me. Okay, so moving along, we need we're gonna hit it like a wall again, but the good thing about this time is maybe it's like, we had kind of one touch point here, a second one here, and now hopefully this one will be the third one, right? And typically on the third one is when you break it, back test it, this becomes a trade right here. Okay, so there's some people that are sitting on their hands. They maybe didn't identify this Gartley bat area the way we did. They maybe were waiting more for just critical support resistance to flip. Okay, so traders now are going to be looking for basically we're going to have to break out, back test the level as support, and then that'll allow us to continue up, right? So traders that are on the sidelines on Bitcoin here, waiting for a potential long signal, would be looking to take this, okay? And that's where they're gonna go with us up to that high target, okay? So giving them, ideally, they're gonna use our previous D right here as their stop. These are, All right. So the larger your portfolio becomes, the less leverage not only do you need, but do you really want to be messing with? Because those swings sometimes are hard for people to stomach, okay? Unless you have just a high risk tolerance, but I mean, not many people have a high risk tolerance for 6-figure, 7-figure swings in volatility and chop, you know what I mean? So big stacks like that, they are trading this on almost spot, you know what I mean? So if you're trading on spot here, you could give yourself wider stops than typical, okay? It's somebody with leverage, right? So if you're targeting for somebody on spot, targeting our target area up here, 69, right? 69,000, their stop can be 3 to 1 right there. See, 2.9, so 3 to 1. And it's almost, in a weird way, it's not that this is a TA tool, it's a risk management tool, right? But oftentimes, like when you see stuff like this happen where you're like, okay, look, the ideal situation here is that traders are looking for this break of this previous resistance area, okay, to hold above that, confirm it, and then ride this up, okay? So this is basically what a lot of people are hoping happens, and if that's the case, here's your target. Well, when this gives you this perfect setup like that, and it also lines up with the technicals. See, sometimes people only see one side of it. They're just like, okay, I got an equitable trade, let me just take that if I get stopped. All they're seeing is this previous low as a low, right? They don't see it with this, like, you know, with the harmonic there, right? Sorry, stupid draw tool is still on. The harmonic's not there for them, okay? So if you're just looking at that, you can see that swing low kind of happened, right? You can also maybe see a little bit of a let me get rid of it so we can, if this fails just a little bit, okay, just a little bit, and because this was a good wave already, okay, this was a good little impulse. So if this fails and it comes back down just a little bit, okay, just a little bit here, and then goes back up, now you could maybe get that inverse head and shoulders to paint and help you kind of shoot up, right? Basically high time frame kind of failure pattern, not so much, but just it does the same thing. Look, it just these a low, a lower low, a higher low, and then you go up, okay? So a low, a lower low, a higher low, and then you go up. I mean, that's all we're looking at, okay? Just on a smaller area, on a larger area, okay? Anyways, moving on, what we need to do. So, okay, what somebody would want to do right now, if you guys know how to use your TradingView alerts, right click on TradingView and set yourself an alert at 58.4, okay? So add an alert there. And when that breaks, you want that alert to go off just so you can identify it. And if maybe you're not in a trade right now, if this has an initial upthrust, don't freak out. It's gonna probably just sweep these highs, okay? It's gonna sweep these highs. You're gonna get them. You're gonna get all that money, just this liquidity pool. Then you're gonna come back down and you're gonna back test this level, okay? So don't freak out here, okay? It's not gonna, I mean, it can, but it's not just gonna do that. It's gonna methodically do this, especially the higher we get up here in levels of price, the harder it is to move, to paint a large candle, because the market cap is just so high now. There's so much money involved that, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's nothing compared to some assets, but it's gotten up there on the list where, you know, when we were at 3 or 4,000 at the bottom, it was much easier to paint those stupid, candles like that. So I feel like at this stage, it makes sense to do something more methodical than just outright $10,000 candle here from 58 to 68 or something, right? But can't say we haven't seen it. So for us, we don't really care, right? We hope that happens, because right now our stop loss is here. Even if your stop's not there, your stop's at least here, right? Maybe your stop's a little tighter, you're working with a little higher leverage or something. So you could bring it up to 56. Before, when we entered this trade, our stop started at 53, okay? So when we entered the trade initially for us, this is how we entered, okay? Our stop is down here below 53, and our target area looks like this, okay? And we did have some other variables that we identified, right? So this is why we're painting our picture, right? So that being said, now that price, okay, so you could kind of tighten it at least to the D. So basically what that's doing is you're basically moving your stop to break even at this point, okay? So if you have a stop here at break even, you're a little shy of it, but you know what I mean. You're in the entry area. Now look how equitable your trade has become, 18 to 1. Imagine going into a casino and getting 18 to 1 on your money, right? That's what we're doing with our money, okay? So we want to hold that type of advantage. If we close this trade and re-enter it, look what happens to us when we re-enter it right here, okay? If we're targeting the same level, in order to have a 3 to 1, our stop has to be down here still, okay? Or if our stop's where it is right now, 4 to 1, where are we at? 3 to 1. 3 to 1's right here. So you have to be a little looser getting into it now. We're sitting much more comfortable. See, there's just a lot of downside. We would barely lose anything here. You could lose a decent chunk still if it were to fail on us all, right? If this failed from up here though, see what I mean? Just the floor's deeper on you. So you would lose 6.5% versus somebody that entered with us would only lose 1%, okay? But if we're right, we're gonna get 24, okay? So we're risking 1.2% at this point to lock in 24, and that's on spot, right? So do the math. All right, moving along, let's get rid of this one. So yeah, target area is up there. What we want to see next, like I said, is hold the line, hold the line, hold the line, paint some sort of structure here, like a trend line there, and then break out of it, right? So yeah, Bitcoin, we will be watching critical 58.4 level, critical 5800, critical level. Same thing, look at this action. I mean, you guys have to be looking at your and just being you have to be in some good profit here, right? I mean, even if you didn't get the bottom of it, you had to at least gotten in this consolidation, our newly found, where we 414, almost a 1272 here, watch. So from B, the high was actually up here. You really hate to see that, but ideally, oh man, this is so close to 886, right? Bitcoin was worse. Bitcoin's high was higher. It's not even painted that way. It's the opposite, upside down harmonic here. But anyways, we wanted to see this here at an 886 basically, okay? Something like that. But I'll fib from the high just to show you, look where it landed, 1272, perfect from the low to high. So even though this wasn't per se a harmonic, it still is developing a wave analysis, the way you would want to see a wave initial impulse up, you have a sell-off, then you have a rise, a deep rise where you get a 618, 786, 886 type of retracement. You square up the level, but it ultimately still is a lower high. Sometimes it's a higher high. It's a different type of harmonic when it looks like this. But the one we're looking for here, basically we're looking for a bat, which it's almost both a bat and a Gartley. This keeps happening where, okay, because on a bat you want to see a 50, right? This 50% retrace right here. So again, this wick takes us off that 50, and when you get into the 618 area, when you leave the 50 and you get here to the 618 area, that's Gartley, okay? 618 is key characteristic B retracement from the X low to the initial A impulse up, retrace 61.8% of the way. Okay, so Gartley pattern right here. See this green line there? 618. Okay, so that 618 was right there, and that was where you touched. Okay, so that 618 for your Gartley. So basically, if we were to continue to stay a Gartley, we basically would have wanted the D, the completion zone of the D. It's not an 886, okay, for the Gartley. It's a 786, so just a little higher. So it would have been right there, C 786. So where we're getting that is again from low to the A high. See that blue line right there? That blue line is the 786 at 1940. Okay, so the Gartley, yeah, I mean, we want a key 786. The thing about the Gartley on the high side is it could be as low as 382. So as soon as we got basically, that's 2 is low. It's really low. 382 is like that, okay? So just pretend none of this price action was here, and basically price would have hit this low. Price would have came down, sold off, hit this low, only came back up 38% of the way back here, and then proceeded to sell off to the 76, right? That is a Gartley. No question about it right there, right? But what we actually got was not that. Instead, oh, and on a Gartley, I'm just saying it could start at the 382, but the C can go as high as an 886. So as soon as we hit the 886 right here, this basically, at this point, when we did this, and you had some really, like, it hit that 886, and it was pretty much, done with it. Watch. Been from this A high. Oh, it's not clicking good. Okay. A high. So see that purple pink line there? That's an 886. Get that respect of that 886. Tell me 886 and your line, okay? So long story. We have 4 points telling us it's a Gartley. A, B, up got the 886 slightly, but again, that's just apes buying the top. Gives us our 886, okay? So we get the 886, we sell off. Nuked it, right? Oh man, look at that. And we called that one. It was beautiful. Wrecked everybody. So many people dead. Okay. So then we got our low. Okay, so again, we were looking for 786, and I mean, again, did this go? Okay, so the 786, we'll use our stop little as 786. Okay, if it was 7 stop there, what did it do? It went right there, 886 almost. Okay, what was that? Basically from here to here. See where that blue line is? That's at 786, and technically you didn't get the 886. So you barely went wicked and closed back above it. Again, it's not about that initial hit of it, it's about the way it reacts and follows through from the level. I mean, that's, I convince myself more to Gartley than a bat. But either way, okay, so that you would do, let's paint the bat, okay? So same thing, X to A would be the same. You would have stopped at the 50 on the bat, okay? So a bat would have stopped right here, and then the bat would have taken you up same level here, 886, 886 on the bat, and then the bat had the 886, okay? So right here. So you could paint them so you can have the both of the ways that they're gonna touch, right? And I mean, that's kind of what happens. Like, look at that. It's like a bullish bat pattern with a bullish Gartley pattern inside of each other, right? I don't know how else to paint that for you. Okay, so if you would have thought, okay, be a little, we don't want our stop above that level because this was the entry. And sometimes, look, sometimes entry, you get that slightly little off. So you don't want to stop right there, right? So you would have wanted to stop below X, right? That's why we use this for the stop. Make sense? And that would have given you room to breathe for this to make up its mind. What am I? Am I a Gartley or am I a bat? And we don't really care because ultimately we got our exact type of XABCD wave analysis that we're looking for. And this is how we, you know, right? Maybe there's people, today's your first day, you know, in the chat. The buy zone for long. Okay, so is how we got our fills. And we just were layered in these levels, okay? Now that we've gotten the reaction, and we're almost basically going to square up, okay? So the square ups are weird because two things can happen. It depends on how bullish the trend is, really. And this trend is bullish right now. So let's paint two scenarios. Scenario A, the bulls say, that's it. I'm going to sweep the highs. See, here's a previous high. Here's a previous high. I'm going to sweep the highs. I'm only going to give you a small retracement. Small. And then I'm going to go again. And if you missed out, I'm going to leave you out, right? Max punishment. Or scenario number 2 would basically be a failure at this level. And scenario 2 is we chop here, excuse me, and we we distribute, people take profits on some longs from this initial buy zone and we sell off, okay? So both of these scenarios can happen right here. Again, what's our key here? Look how close this level is to Bitcoin hitting 58, what was it, 58.4, right? So if Bitcoin gets above 58.4 and holds, odds are Ethereum's above and holding too. So you're a go on both of them, and easy invalidation below the level. Don't put a stop right on it because you're gonna get some wicks all over it. But, you know, have a stop like down here or down here even for now. Let this get away from you and then bring the stop up, right? So what I'm saying is, right now we could have a stop above our entry right now, and you could be stopping, have a stop above our entry right now, and you could be stopping right here. So either way, if this were to occur, yeah, profit, but no loss, right? It's either a small profit or a huge profit, no loss. As this, because look, you need to let this breathe, because if this hits again and dumps, probably gonna hit this square up, okay? See that square up? And then get back above it. That's what happened last night, right here, okay? So picture that happening again, right? You run up really good, you run up really good, you sell off at resistance, you sell off at resistance, you sell right back off, but immediately it gets bought right back up. So here's your resistance, you sell off, immediately it gets bought back up and more, right? That bought up was bullish engulfing over that previous level. So look, previous level, bullish engulfing candle, marks over the previous level, bullish engulfing candle. If that were to happen, you would probably also start painting a harmonic, right? You X, A, B, C, D, right? 1 4 1 4. So again, that's why this is in play. There's a square up here, the square up level is right there, 19. It's basically 2000. This could come back and bounce back off 2000. All up to Bitcoin, just like everything. If Bitcoin rejects again at 58.4, forget about it. You're coming back down to 2000, or you're just coming back off this level something, right? So it's all up to Bitcoin like normal. And there's people that are, honestly, there's people taking shorts right now. They're layered into a short right now. I mean, I'm doing it on BNB, but BNB's at a different level. BNB's I'm shorting BNB here, not at the neckline. BNB's already up here. Okay, when we get to BNB, I'll show you. So okay, so people right now on Twitter are calling for this short. They're putting a stop above the previous highs, and they're calling to take this low. Okay, that's, jump on Twitter right now, open your phone, get off the computer, or computer, phone, same time. Look, find it. You're gonna see it over there. I mean, we just showed you why it could happen, but Bitcoin likes to punish everybody. So Bitcoin holds above the level. This Ethereum goes with it. All you end up seeing is these stops get ran. It goes back to the level and just holds those stop area and runs the highs, right? So that's like that. You know, what are more people expecting? Scenario kind of A with the short, or our scenario would be somebody maybe takes a breakout trade off this level and they wait. If maybe they're not in anything like we talked about previously, right? They wait for that breakout, they take this trade to the highs, right? So these are the two trades that you're kind of obviously playing against, right? It's either A or it's B. We are on currently the side of A until Bitcoin rejects at 58.4, and then you know, maybe you just say chalk it up, call it, just stop yourself out or something, right? If you see a massive sell-off start occurring. But again, I don't think that's probably what we're gonna see. It's gonna be something else. It's gonna be gross, right? It's gonna be Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just, I feel like they're gonna punish people, and you're gonna get this crap again. I mean, we basically been calling for this for a couple of days. Everybody said it's photoshopped. It's photoshopped right now, but so there it is, right? We painted this one the other night, like down here, remember? And we did something like this, right? And we got that. Okay, yeah, it doesn't always happen in one candle. This is why I'm saying Bitcoin's not just gonna go straight up. It's gonna methodically go straight up. There's gonna be a couple down candles, down days, right, on your way up. Those are people gonna be, you know, people losing faith, right? That's just getting them to sell early, whatever. I mean, look at our entry, fellas. Look at this compared to where we are right now. We entered the trade. Even if you bought up here at the kind of consolidation area, like at 1970, even if you bought high, which you shouldn't have, you should have got a better entry than this, but you know, even if you did, it doesn't matter. You're still sitting up a good 6% on spot, and I know degens aren't on spot. So okay, Um, let's go back up here, and here's where I said, all right, we're gonna layer out 70. So what I was kind of thinking might happen, right, is we shoot that kind of really just ugly candle, right? Not ugly for us, but that's where we get into that area. It would proceed to sweep the highs, right? So you had this previous high swept. So we'll put that, I'll make it kind of, so previous high swept, and then following high swept. If you were taking targets on a Gartley, you're basically doing this, right? You're taking the previous high and you're going to the low, and you're shooting for the 1414 1618 type area, right? We kind of layered from 1272 all the way through the 1618. This is okay, the reason I only have 70% coming off here is because our entry is so good that when you get this kind of action, you're gonna sell off initially, okay? But then you're gonna get one more high. We talked about this last night, where you sweep even the 88, you sweep the 1618 too. And that's how you end up at that 2500 level, somewhere up here, right, on ETH. Look, the 2618 is at 2500, that level. 2618, 2490. That's how you end up there. And ultimately, then you sell off from there. So if you proceeded to sell back off, this is how you would, on that higher structure, end up with that. You'd kind of have this big head and shoulders, right? Something like that. So it's just a big reversal in price. It's a high on price, a higher high on price, followed by a lower high on price. That's our area to exit. That's telling us the trend is kind of gonna reverse, especially on a high time frame like that. So yeah, something like that. 2500, the head, 2500 ideally. Okay, it's been on our radar. So that's what that other 30% is for, just in case. It just keeps going. It doesn't let us reload. If we reload, we're back in at 100 of this position, because we would have refilled back on this back test of the previous highs, right? What was once resistance, once, twice, third time we break it, will then become support, confirmation. Traders take longs. That gives us momentum to get our high. Okay, and this is just 4-hour structure, right? So looking at this even on a daily structure, right? So daily structure, how are we getting up there? Well, let me just clean this up for you guys for 2 seconds here, just because I don't like clutter. We know the story, we know where we're aiming, 2500. We're just trying to figure out more of an argument on how we're getting there. Look at that candle on the daily that we got. Jesus. That was nice. Okay. All right. So what we're seeing on the daily is basically this high, this low, this higher low, and ideally now we've done is put even a third higher low in, if this can hold, right? So let me get rid of this harmonic. We'll just bring it off the daily and down to the 12-hour. Okay, so let me paint the structure for you, okay? Give you a bigger picture view. Here's your swing low, right? A low, lower low, higher low. Okay. Let's paint this up. So you have this upsloping trend line, okay? And then you basically built yourself a pretty Beautiful neckline. I mean, geez, look at that. Tell me that TA doesn't work when that and this back test happens. Like, okay. So what do we watch? What are we looking for here? This initial this initial trend line, let's make it like yellow so you can see it. So this initial trend was like steady trend, putting in a higher low, and that's good because it's that initial impulse. You put in the low, put in a slightly lower high on the deep retracement back up, right? And then you sell off, but the sell off is a higher low. So that's how we get the harmonic to paint, right? So again, on these trend lines, watch this. See how this trend line now is just starting to go vertical? Remember we talked about that as well. And we talked about that also then putting in a parabolic upthrust. Okay? So this is how we're getting to these levels, okay? So next we're looking for a measured move. And we have two options here. We have the conservative, which would go here to the neckline, okay? You see why we did that? That was right there where see where those traders settled up at 1,420 on ETH? It's probably Elon tweeted right there. Okay, so that's the conservative approach. The more aggressive approach would be to take the low. Okay, so if we took that as the more aggressive approach, we'll bring the more aggressive approach up here, okay? And we'll say, okay, if we're getting aggressive, that means 26, looks like 2620. Yeah, 2616 is aggressive, okay? Aggressive target. Conservative target. And what I like to do is get out at the conservative and then go short at the aggressive, okay? If that makes sense. That gives you a chance to kind of regroup, relayer, readjust your leverage, just whatever, readjust your mind, take a breath. But there's the targets, okay? So we've identified, these are the targets of the measured move of the structure, okay? This is not, those are not the targets of the harmonic yet, okay? We're trying to overlap them because that'll give us kind of our coinciding argument, right? Okay, so look at this. Are we pumping right now? What's going on, boys? We're pumping in the chat. Okay, so anyway, the harmonic now. Let's put the harmonic right in our level. Okay, so from the X high, stupid tool. The X high, X A B 886. Did we get it? Of course we got it. 886. Now we're looking for 786, 886 type retracement. Even 618. 618 on the freaking T, and that doesn't even happen. See, you see that? That's when that happens, and this is 886 happening, and this structure's developing, and this backtest is in. Long your longs, boys. Just don't over leverage, but you can add size, position, maintain leverage, but we're going to this level, okay? We are going to new all-time highs. Okay, this is probably 1272. Okay, 1272 would have been the first area. If this is a butterfly, it's 1272 is the first area of interest. So the harmonic will mark a different color. Mark the harmonic blue, and we'll change it blue so you guys can see. Actually, keep that purple. Okay, so the blue lines are going to be the harmonic. Take profit 1. The purple line came from the measured move of the structure. Okay, so target 1. You can take a little off. target, I'm just gonna do targets. So target 1, the reason you're taking some off is just because, I mean, why not lock in on some gains, right? You're gonna be long from at this point, from here to target 1. That's 40%. I mean, even on like 4x, that's 160, right? So like, I know you guys probably even are worse than that. So that's probably, you're gonna hit like 200% there. Why would you hit 200% and not at least take a little bit off? Like, come on, just a little. Okay, so because this is how we sweep these previous highs, right? Here's the highs. So we come up and you sweep the highs by getting to that target 1, okay? So we take out the stops from the previous shorts that never sold, maybe had some big institutions shorting. Well, we're gonna run them all out, stop them out. That's target 1. 1272 comes from the X high, to the A low on Ethereum. 1272 is at 2240 basically. So kind of front run that. Okay, target number 2 of a butterfly would now go up and hit the 1414. Okay, so that would be target number 2 on ETH, would put you at 2340. And remember on the 4 hour we were between 22 and 2340 where I said I'm taking 70. So we took 30 at the 1272. Then we're going to take another 40%, so we'd have 70 off the board by the time we got here. And then we take our last 30 up here, okay? And the last target up here would be the 1618 golden mean ratio. Gets us into that zone of the measured move. It's actually the same target of the conservative area of the structure. So now that we're back at that area, let me show you the conservative target one more time. From here to here, copy paste it, and it's gonna fit in like a block of, like it belongs there, watch. Boom. 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 Okay. X marks the spot. And that's how we end up there. Okay. So let's clean this up. We got the back test in. Got the parabola. Got the measure move of the structure. We have the structure. We have target 1. We have target 2. Ultimately, that's how it's going to look. If you want to see it for simplicity. So for right now, you should be looking at something like this on your position. The way you're sitting would look something like this. Anywhere in this level, remember? And okay, you guys saw how I layer, right? So when I layer, I'm gonna layer through a whole zone. Remember that? It's just layers. So when I'm talking about taking off 30 and then 70 and then the whole thing, it's because as I'm filling, 30% is getting filled, then another 40% is getting filled, and then the last 30% is getting filled. I didn't really move the orders. They were already layered in there, and as we approach the level, right? As we approach the level, we're just gobbling those orders. Gobble. Okay? So that allows you to get paid while you're enjoying your life, okay? This stop can come up almost to break even. 12 to 1. Once we get up here, we'll be looking to identify some divergences. That's going to tell us it's kind of running course, okay? Currently, what's happening is nothing bad. This was all good. I'll show you as we go back to the chart. And same thing here. This is just bullish. On the high side here, this is bullish convergence. The momentum is converging with price in the up direction. This is not, you see how this, let me do this for you. You see how this island right here was with this high, and then this island is with our current high. So on the top side, you're converging, bullish convergence. Same thing on the low side. See how we put in this low and this higher low? It's just like bullish convergence. Again, it's just like this trend is saying, I want to go this way. You know what I mean? That's what it's telling us. And that's where our sweet spot is. So we're going to ride this structure, right? And then once we lose that trend, that's where the market's going to turn, right? So that's the kind of I just don't like painting it that way, because to me it's more cluttery than the harmonics, right? And the harmonics are using the fibs, but I mean, I know there's guys that are just painting the trend lines, right? Or the channels, looking to break that trend line, right? They just have one line and hope, maybe not even identifying the midline. Look how good that held though as a midline, as like a heart line support, heart line test. Maybe you'll back test the heart line again, and then you'll fail the heart line, go to the bottom, fail, touch of 3, 1, 2, 3, fail, come up, back test, fail again. Yeah, something like that would be in store on Ethereum. But I mean, long story short, right, we're getting this level, okay? So layer out, trail your stop, layer out. Your target zone to layer is between 2500, which the blue line's at 2490, and you're going to start layering out at 2300. Even a little lower if you want. You know, you don't have to be so greedy. Jeez. Okay. Anything like that. You're coming from down here, right? You're coming in hot from low levels. You're coming in hot from down there. So that was our green go. Blue is the target. Moving along. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alert, alert, alert. What just happened? What did we just paint on Ethereum? And what do we see on BNB? So this is your future telling itself, okay? So it's more here. Okay, your future self said, note to self, when I break and back test the neckline, I go up and I hit the 1414. Okay, note to self. Write that down. What happened? We had a low on price, we had a higher low on price. It's like, don't even care about what the asset was, right? Just, we're literally painting the exact same thing we just painted, but it's already happened, and it was on the very next chart. That's why I said, okay, I'm shorting this one, but I'm long on ETH. People are like, oh, how could you be short on ETH or on BNB when everything's going up? Well, this don't look like it's going up right now. The ETH looked like it was going up. This looks like it's going down. This is a daily candle. That means it's been going down all day. So I don't know, take it as you wish. But that being said, I will give you that you could still hit the 1618. So what? Okay, I have orders layered all the way past this anyways. Give me more, right? That's all you're going to be doing. You're just going to give me more. My orders look like this. They were from the 1414 through the 1618. Okay, so we can that's why we layer, right? Layer, just let this gobble into it, gobble, and then it'll just turn, and then we'll come all the way back down here. We'll back test probably this. Okay, so let's see what that would be if we get the 1618. Look where that fell, right at the 50, and that would almost be painting a sharkish pattern. That might do a 50% retracement and morph into a 5-0, and you might go again, right? So people are just like, oh, Duck, why are you so bearish right here? And I'm like, look, I'm only bearish until I'm bullish again, and then I'm bullish. So get over it, right? Just cope. Stay underwater and cope. All right. Actually, sorry, I should have given you guys, oh, we did give you the target, 50% retracement, previous neckline, previous high, right? We were targeting that previous high. It made the 50%. What is this? YFI. Okay, so again, we had the low, the lower low, the higher low, putting in that initial kind of rounding bottom price action structure. At that level, you rounded on your divergence, not divergence, but your negative momentum waned and reduced, right? Lower levels of negative momentum eventually went green. You up thrusted, you squared up. Also, see this square up? This is why you have to be afraid of those square ups. That's why we painted those two scenarios, remember? When you hit the square up, sometimes you sell off. But when you hit the square up the second time and you up thrust, back test, and hold it, and it's like break on a smaller time frame, I bet this broke up, back tested, and went, okay? So what am I looking for here? Again, we identify the higher low, right? This one is a little tighter. Okay, so we identify this higher low here. Then on the look on the MACD, that momentum was just, you know, we're getting the bulls are taking over. The bears were losing control. The bears, they couldn't put in any more lower levels, right? The bears needed to push this lower, right down here. They needed to sell that off, but they couldn't muster it. It got bought up, too many buyers stepped in, tide was changed. What happened on the RSI? You had equal levels of RSI, slightly lower on the RSI, slightly, but basically pretty equal level there. So it was very apparent on the MACD. So equal levels of relative strength, lower levels of negative momentum, a higher low on price. Now, what else was it? It was probably a critical fib level support, right? 786 critical fib level support. So we're checking the boxes. Tweezer double bottom, inverse head and shoulders, neckline, right? Smaller structure, little pattern, right? Would have painted where you would have done something like this, and you would have had this like smaller little inverse head and shoulders within the second bottom, right? Almost like this. So it's like a structure within a structure. Then you're painting the harmonic X, sorry, for some reason this mouse, X, A, B, what is that? 618, uh-oh, 886, uh-oh. If that's 786 is here, there's a Gartley. All right, you have a Gartley on YFI, but variables aren't in, okay? So this is good test. People are gonna say, all right, shit, Gartley, we hit a critical fib. What's happening? Alert, 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 what's happening? I hit a critical fib. Do I short it? Maybe on like the 15-minute, right? You take a little short, but this is gonna go. And this is why we need coinciding variables. A pattern, a Gartley, even a Gartley as beautiful as it is, and honestly it's more of a, again, this is that bat mixed with a Gartley. So bat is 886, right? Which is basically right here. The reason I'm saying bat is because you got more of a fifth, it's at like a 6. See, again, it's mixing, and you have the 886 on both of them, so that doesn't help you. This is a mix. I mean, the close is probably a 50 and the wick was a 618. So now again, you had this area that you would have been looking at here as a critical area. where the 786 and the 886 would meet, right? Or just create a zone, right? See, 786, 886. Yeah, I drew that box. Okay, so if this was already diverging and you had like an island here, or you had an up island and then a little lower island, basically you would have needed this to do this up island, sell off, and then put in this lower, stupid thing, up island, sell off, lower island, okay? And at that point you could have had an argument for this Gartley, because you would have said, 786, 886 bat Gartley area. And at that point, you see in the white thing that we drew, price would have put in the higher high, lower levels of positive momentum. That would have been the kicker for the Gartley. But do we have it? Do we have it? Negative. We haven't even waned on positive momentum. You haven't even put in the one of the white little dots, dashes yet on the histogram island, right? You have yet to paint one. You almost did right here where my cursor is. There's one little white one there, and that's where it would almost have done that high with the lower high that we wanted, but it didn't. Okay, so what does that tell us? Is that it's telling us that the bulls stepped in ferociously and bought this thing up and just are carrying this momentum, just powerful momentum here. Okay, so then we say, okay, let's look over to the RSI. But duck, the RSI is oversold. When it oversells, that means it has to go back down. Bullshit. So this could stay oversold for long time. Let's see if we get anything. Yeah, this is not enough data. Watch, I'll show you like on Bitcoin or something. This can stay oversold. We're only in 70. That's like bullish territory. That's not even like oversold. To me, that just means bullish. Like, I need to get way up here. I need to sell off, and then I need to put in a slightly lower high and then sell off again. And that's where we create that bearish divergence. You know what I mean? That's the kind of sell off, or that's what we need to see on the RSI. In oversold territory, build the bearish divergence. Don't just touch it. You see, this touched it, but it also built the divergence. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Okay, right now you're barely like right here, so you have a lot of work to do. And watch, I guarantee that as it put this one in, price went higher than it did here. Watch. Okay, so look, yeah, slightly. You were about here to here, slightly. But yeah, so that was basically, price got to a high and it went to right there. Okay, so bearish convergence, I guess, more than divergence, but I knew that that was going to be a bad area just by looking at it here. So again, we have some work to do. So again, by the time, say we invalidate this area, how do we invalidate? By exceeding the previous X, right? We run the highs over here. So let's put those previous highs, let's run them. So how do we run the highs? We must go from an 886 Gartley type bat, and we morph into a butterfly. So when we go to the 1272 and we sweep the highs, and now we've changed patterns. That's why you gotta wait for confirmation, because Gartley guy was too early. Butterfly crab guy is gonna, the patient guy is gonna get paid. This guy's gonna have to weather the storm and stay underwater for a long time, and he'll come all the way back to break even, and then he'll sell, and he'll be like, ha ha, market, I got you. You didn't get any of my money. You just had me underwater and stressed out for like 3 weeks, but I won. No, You didn't. You lost. F in the chat. Okay, so we need this. We're up here, right? 1272, 1414, 1618. Especially with Bitcoin. Again, what's going to happen here? This is all lining up for it, because this right here, the BAT resistance, okay, that we're concerned with, that is lining up with Bitcoin at 58.4 right now. So Bitcoin hits 58.4, but it holds above it on Bitcoin. Well, everything's going to get sent, right? So that's how you're going to morph, because Bitcoin's going to send and change that pattern and go more green, right? And that lines up with everything we've been saying on all these patterns with the vertical. Let me clean that up for you a little bit. Okay, so we basically have this vertical up. Okay, so you have this initial trend line, right, from the A low on February 28th on Duck's birthday. Put in the low. This was Duck's birthday. I bought this for my birthday, by the way. It was a nice day. Okay, so then we came up, we put the trend line is rising here, okay? So from there, we're continuing to up thrust in the trend, okay? The trend is continuing to up thrust, okay? It's almost one of this type of thing. And you might even do it again, you know what I mean? That's how you end up there. That's how those fans are painted. I don't use them indicators, but that's kind of what they're after. Just people don't know where they're anchoring them from, so they don't work right. Okay, so again, what are we envisioning here? A parabolic rise in the trend, okay? A rising of the trend. Maybe this was this one, and this is this one, right? And this is this one, because we don't know duration. All we know is a relative area where we could layer around critical fib levels, right? Which are the 1272, the 1414, and the 1618 when we're in blue sky breakout, putting in new all-time highs. This is YFI. Again, we're looking at Bitcoin, critical area. Okay, so we drew this same thing as hoping to get, ideally we were looking for a back test here, right? This is Dash USDT neckline, okay? So that blue was our neckline, and look at our back test. Okay, so we had the initial rise in price. I'm not sure why I can't open that. We had the initial up thrust, right? Hit price square up, critical fib, and then we immediately sold off. Back tested that neckline and ran again, right? On the lower structure, you probably hit this a couple times, you know what I mean? This is just a daily. I'm pretty sure we were painting some of these on a 4-hour. So look where one of our lines is at. Look at that fill we got, right? Look at our fill. Come on, bro. I mean, I can't give you any better entry than that. I really can't. Nothing I could do further. Nothing anybody could do further than something like that. So if we're targeting the highs, currently you could have a stop below the neckline, which was here, where we had critical resistance area. Critical resistance 3 times, 1, 2, 3 really nice ones, and then a perfect back touch. So use that. So you would have entered here. You could even use that as support, right? As protection, not support, but protection for your stop. So, okay, so that's kind of the idea there on Dash. So now let's figure out, again, now that we're getting this follow through price action, this is a Bulkowski double bottom. So we had a low on price and a equal low on price. Again, watch the oscillators. They're going to be bullish. See? So that right there is kind of what you wanted to see when this was painting, you know what I mean? You got this low on price, and this, you know, came back up, made the neckline, double top, another low on price, right? So perfect kind of situation there. Okay, so see how this is an equal low here? That's the reason we're not doing a harmonic here. Even though it's still gonna act like a harmonic, as far as it's still gonna hit the target of a harmonic, it's gonna hit a 1272 up here. Sorry, 1272. Okay, it's gonna go up there anyways, but it's not because of a harmonic, but we will mark that level anyways. It's about 375. Makes sense, right? Critical round number, psychological, retail traders freaking out at 375. Okay, so what we're doing now, since these were really equal, so watch, look, here's your equal lows. Sorry about that, we wanted this tool. Okay, so our equal lows were here. If that's our equal low area, we're going to take our measured move from the low to the neckline. Okay, let me get that, all of that. Okay, so measured move of the neckline from the low to the neckline, copy, paste it, and you come and you put it up here. Okay, and what is this going to be? This is going to be the next area of critical resistance. And looking at it, it's because it's, you know, ideally it's squaring up this level over here. Looks like this previous candle, we'd have to see it probably like on the 12-hour or something. I bet you there's a pretty sick square up right there. Let's see real quick if that works. Yeah, right there. Okay, so that's basically what I was trying to show you with that first target. Okay, there's going to be some initial resistance. You may even come and back test this a second time here. Come back, you know what I mean? You run this up. Maybe you just back test this level, and then you run it back up, and then you run the highs. Okay, either way, we are going from here. We're bullish on Dash. Ultimately, Dash could see 375, right? So what would 375 be? Let's see, from our high to our low. Look at that, 1272, 375. And look, there's our line where we're going to come off of it, and then we're going to fail to back test it, and then we're going to sell off. Okay, so there's where we're going to have the ideal change in structure of Dash, where the price action will revert in structure in this area. Okay, so we want to identify that. We have some time though. As we get in these levels, we'll be doing videos on that. So don't worry about that quite yet. All you got to worry about is just managing your position on the way up, right? And the lower leverage you use, the easier it becomes to manage, and the less risk of being stopped. So sometimes you'll often find that lower leverage traders end up making more money in the long run. So I don't know, just keep that in mind. This is chain link. I think we're looking at chain link on the 4-hour. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we did not get the lower low, which is good for this, good sign for the bulls, right? Good sign for the uptrend. We don't really care if some of our orders don't fill. That's why we layer. Some fill, some don't, whatever. Okay, so again, we had this initial trend line. The trend is going vertical. We're continuing to put in a high, a higher, or a low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And you know, this eventually, it's the supply is being bought up. When the trend line is going vertical like this, you're running out of supply, right? There's no more supply left at the area between $31 and $32. Nobody has any more link to sell for $31 or $32 anymore. Back here, I had a bunch to sell to you for $31 or $32. Everyone got mad at me, and we sold off. But now I'm opposite. Now I'll buy it up from you for $31 or $32, and I'll take it this way. So it just supply and demand, right? Simple supply and demand. So here we again have a measured move of a structure. You could kind of see this highlighted box here area. I'll make it more apparent for you. That's basically our previous neckline. See that neckline that the B would have made? That's where our measured move is coming from. We pasted it up here. It gives us target number 1. Target number 1, sorry. And then what is this? Target 1's there. Target 2, 1618. Target 1 is probably 1272. Let me get that up there. 1272. Yeah, basically 1272. That's what we're looking. It's a measured move and a harmonic area. So again, it's going to be a critical overhead resistance area that'll develop there, where you will see potential sell-off. That's how maybe you touch the trend line again. You come up and you run up, and then you sell back off to that trend line, and then you continue back up. Okay, so chain link, ultimately we are aiming for this first target's $39, so basically $40 psychological level. So front run it, go 38 and a half, and then second target is basically $45. So chain link, the Marines are going to find themselves at $45 when we decide to remove their budget, their funding, right? We're going to unfund the Link Marines at 45. They've been getting too exhausting them resources, too greedy. Okay, so that is Link. Ethereum Classic. Whoa, easy there, little fella. This took off on us, right? But look where it went. Target 2 and no more. Look at that. Hit that. Back test, sold off. Failed to get back to that level. Now it's going to sell off again. Okay? So that's what we're looking for on Bitcoin, remember? We're going to have that initial high. We're going to sell off, and then we're going to fail to get back to that level, and then we're going to sell off again. So let's see if we had some variables here. Yeah, if this doesn't, even if this puts in a slightly higher high, there is absolutely no way that they're going to push the momentum back up here again and above it. No way. Okay, so what that means is we have a pattern completion zone of the harmonic. Remember we said sometimes we'll hit that D, but then we'll get this slightly higher high. BNB did it last night. Stupid BNB. Put in the initial short, sold off, but then it gave us this slightly higher high right now. And then it'll sell off again. But that's how you build that. That's where you put in that initial impulse up. You did get a sell off. That's why that was a target area, right? Tell me you wouldn't have been mad not selling right there and then that happening. Okay, you could buy back in, get some more. So that's why we take profit there. But basically this oscillator here needs to come. It'll go green just for a little bit, but then it's going to sell off again. And right there is your divergence. You're either gonna, even if you get lucky here and you're able to somehow put in a slightly higher high, right? That would just confirm bearish divergence. If though it stays where it's at and you do it, well then all you're gonna do is put in bearish convergence. See how they're converging in the same direction? Downsloping, converging trend lines. And look at your RSI, starting to be trashy. You're starting to get that where you put in, I know it's not price action and it's weird to think about it price action-y, but God, I hate this thing. Okay, so you had this high on the RSI, okay, and then you're putting in this slightly higher high of relative strength, then you proceeded to sell off. Now when you go up again, you're not going to get it this next time. There's no way you're going to go back up there. The momentum is gone, the strength is exhausting, okay? So you put in this lower high somewhere over here, and it's just not going to be pretty, okay? Something like that, okay? So maybe you get a little bit of green, this comes up, puts in that lower high, maybe, and if this does this and you get it up here, all that's going to do is make our argument even more convincing. So it's like right here, I don't know how to tell you, it's like the trial, you're in courtroom, right? You're trying to, there's a jury, you're arguing to the jury, bullish or bearish, and it's like this is like OJ's glove, this is the knife, but then if you get this up here, this would be like the door cam video footage, right? Just locking in the whole argument convincingly, and we would be, not only that, but look, you'd have this harmonic area. So what's this harmonic at? That would be the 1414 if you were to put in a slightly higher high. See, 1414, that would be fine. Actually, it's probably gonna do that, watch. And then the argument just got even stronger, because now you hit the 1414 at the divergence on the RSI and the MACD. That's going to be at a critical fib level from X, previous X high on February 14th to the low February 23rd. You're up here at 1272, 1414 fib levels. This is an area that you want to be looking to start to layer into whatever this is, Ethereum Classic short. Then you'd be targeting back down. We'll worry about those later. Right now, we just got to see, we'd like to see that diverge, hit the 1414, okay? Let me go to next, we have Maker. Okay, so Maker, again, you put in this double bottom. You had, we were looking at this on the daily, was the Maker chart. Again, we got to chart the time frame that we're trading it, right? So that's why I switch on certain things, because it depends where the pattern is, right? Where did it develop? Where's the argument at? So with this on Maker, again, look at this, look at the oscillators. You had them converging bullishly from the low to the higher levels of negative momentum, right? Lower levels of negative momentum. Here's low, and then a lower level of negative momentum. Well, you had an equal low basically on price. Again, this one is almost a slightly higher low, which is what we want to see. There's three types of double bottoms, okay? There's the slightly higher type, which is more bullish. There's the equal, okay? And then there's the lower low. So the harmonic comes in play when you have a slightly higher or a slightly lower. If it's equal, it's usually not a harmonic. But this was a perfect double top up here. See this high, another high? So that's a perfect anchor point here. You could even do it tighter if you want, but we'll just do it back here. X, A, B, C, 1272, D, 1272, right there. So that's what we're looking for on Maker. So this is barely starting to develop. Look, you put in this low, slightly higher low, and now a third high, even higher low. So this is very good structure, price action structure, okay? This gives us our pretty solid argument that we are going to end up in these areas, okay? That we drew some graffiti on this Maker chart, tagged it all up. All right, so what else do we got here? We have a neckline, okay? Previous neckline, pretty defined neckline there. So that's always really nice to see. Really defined neckline. We have a measured move happening here. Let's see what we were doing. Seems like we were just going from the low to the high. We took that measured move and we brought that up here. And that would be target 1. And that's going to be basically, look, you're going to sweep those levels, okay? That's what target 1 always has been. Every time we keep saying it, right? You sweep the highs. So target 1, you probably should take it. It'll go a little higher. It'll sweep them. And then you're basically at target 2 at that point. So you could take a little off in case you fail, right? There's a chance. This is critical. You've never done it before, I don't think. No, there's no way. This is all-time high for Maker. So you've never been above, what is that? 33,100 basically. So you would think that on this next run up on Maker that you're going to be able to finally exceed the 3,100 area, hold it, test it again. If this holds really strong and Bitcoin isn't at like 69 yet, say we're at like 64, we still have room to run, that's when you could start to see then another target. So watch, I'll leave this first target 1272, we'll leave it here, and then you could see another target again at the 1414 extension, which would be up here, kind of be another target area. And then depending, again, where's Bitcoin doing? Still not diverging. Okay, well, let's take this to the 1618 and just keep layering out, or get out but don't short yet. You know what I mean? Layer out here but don't short until up here type of thing. Just because you exit one position doesn't immediately always mean you flip, right? A take profit area is not the same as an entry area, okay? Oftentimes they can be, sure, but it's not 100%, okay? Stellar, let's look at this one on the, I think we're on the 4 hour, right? Okay, so on the lumens, you had basically a really defined neckline here. So we use that neckline to take a measured move from the higher low and pasted it here, and we hit the measured move, okay? So you've been seeing me taking these measured moves on assets that are currently only on this low right here. Okay, so the fact that you're able to see, the fact that you're able to see this play out kind of in advance, it helps you weather the storm when it's getting choppy, right? Like, it's like you're a veteran captain of the boat and you got some choppy seas. Well, you could withstand the choppy seas because you've seen this pattern, right? You've seen structure, you've seen trend lines upthrust like this, right? And then you've seen them continue to upthrust like this, okay? And then what happens after they did that is they went vertical, right? So what have we been painting, right? This is a good, this is why you also diversify your portfolio. Guys will ask me, how come you're in Litecoin and Ethereum too if you think Bitcoin's going up or some shit like that? And it's just because, look, they don't always hit their targets on the exact same second, right? Sometimes, you know, sometimes one hits, then another one hits, then another one hits later. Okay, so we had target 1, we've already hit it. Now let's figure out how do we get to target 2, okay? So target 2 is going to be, we got to sweep these highs. See how we put this high, second high, the third time we break it. So ideally we ride this trend line up and then we break it, okay? So how do we get there? We go from the previous high to the low, and that's again that 1414, 1618, 1272 area, right? That's where we want to layer. You see how I layer that box short. But don't just do it right now. But by the time we get there, you should see the exhaustion. See, right now you're still kind of bullish convergence there. You had converging levels of positive momentum here. See that? So where price put in a higher high, and then a higher high. So now when we put in one more higher high, this won't be able to go higher up, and that's when you'll diverge bearishly off the backside, okay? So that's what we want to see, is that backside bearish divergence. But we got to put in a higher high from here, slightly higher high somewhere to get this divergence, right? Price can still run up quite a bit of the way here. You could do this, right? And then sell off, but ideally that's the bearish divergence where you would have a high on price. You put in that high on price right here, right? And then you'd have the slightly higher high on price. So right there, and then lower levels of positive momentum. And ideally at that point, your RSI would also be doing the same thing on the backside, okay? So your RSI now has a little bit of room to kind of run up, turn, right? So that's how you identify the turning of the trend there on the oscillator. So now again, how do we get up in here? Let's look to the harmonic next. So we got X, A, B, C. 1272 is here, right there at the start of it. That's how we get there. 1272, high side, 1618, butterfly. Target area on our butterfly is between the 1272 and the 1618. Okay, so that's why we layer this level. As soon as this pattern hits that level, okay, as soon as it hits that first line, it goes valid, and it could reverse at any given moment. Okay, price can come up here, hit this level, and just dump. Okay, but you know, it can also go into the top of that level before dumping, right? So either one of those would be valid, what we're looking for. This could even diverge all the way up here, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be tight, the divergence. And again, this is going to depend on Bitcoin, because this is just a shitcoin stellar. Once Bitcoin turns at 69, anything on a USDT pairing is dead. It's going to get wrecked. I mean, look at these levels we're talking about on these shitcoins. I know you haven't looked back, but like, we came from the bottom, now we're here, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know, guys. Tell me that doesn't make you a little bit nervous, like just a little tiny wee bit. Okay, so let's do something real quick. This is gonna be gross if it happens. Probably have to end the stream. Please, God. No. Whoa. 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 Alert. 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 Okay, guys. Something developed. Drastic development. Okay? Somebody hit the Pepe alarm. Uh-oh. Let me just make sure my eyes aren't playing games with me here. Okay. Remember on YFI when we talked about, was it a Gartley or was it going to morph into a butterfly, right? Well, remember how I told you some of these patterns have already played out. This already hit the neckline. It already backtested it. It already ran, and it hit a deep retracement. It also just hit that critical 1618 golden mean ratio that came from the whole structure. And it did it again right there. Wow. Okay. So it's probably worth it to chance it here. Say this comes up while Bitcoin runs and you get this, I don't know what you're gonna get here. Square up right there maybe. Okay, get this square up here. And stop above this previous X high. And I'm gonna take a shot at this. If it fails, it fails. I get stopped. If we break the X, we just morph and we go into a butterfly and we'll try it again, right? But the fact that we hit what we did, let me show you one more time. I just wanted to repaint that. I shouldn't even have deleted it. Okay. Basically, we went from the previous all-time high to the previous all-time low. Look at the blue line. $1,618 golden mean ratio from all-time high, or previous all-time high. Stop above that previous structure right there. You could even be more conservative with this. Go right there if you want. Nah, you're good. You're good. Okay, keep it up there. Keep it up there. Don't mess around. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means you might have just been able to short Stellar back to like some critical levels. Like real critical type levels. You know what I mean? Like here, here, here. Yeah, you're talking, this could be bad. I don't know. But this is how you reverse. You put in a Gartley at a 1618. Like, bro, yeah, that's what we're looking for on Bitcoin, like at 69 to happen, okay? So this is no joke here. Especially this isn't even this is a shitcoin, right? Of course. So imagine if we're looking at it like this, right? What would we do if we saw this? Right? We'd be taking a long, wouldn't we? We'd say, oh, easy long. Easy invalidation below the X. Nice little tight little stop. Nice target. Sweep the highs at least. Maybe sweep the next highs. Right? I'm doing that with the opposite tool here because it's actually a short and I was doing a long. Okay, so sweep the high, sweep the high, sweep the high, sweep the high. I don't think you ever lose this stop loss until they deleverage you. Or if I'm wrong. But you're risking such minimal. And I just lined it up for you. And it pretty much played out. It's pretty far. You get a double bottom. You get a double bottom. Do the square up, right? So you come back down. So it's going up, right? You get this double bottom here. And that's where you go. And then you put in like another harmonic on like a lower time frame inside of that structure type of things, right? But anyways, this is looking really good. So that's I'll post this in the alts channel later. Somebody remind me if I forget. Geez, okay, that looks bad when you do it like that, right? Let's just sweep the highs. Okay, we'll sweep those previous lows. I mean, let's do that. Let's not get carried away, even though this might get carried away, because if Bitcoin's topping and this hit the 1618, I don't know. Just that's harmony. That's the stars beginning to align. So that's a good one. What is this? Reef. Okay, so I think we're looking at this on the daily. Oh, I know why. Is it really being stupid? Because of 24-hour, yep. I had it on the 24-hour instead of actually on the daily, right? Okay, let's get back in it. All right, here we go. What's developed is, okay, we had this low on price, we had this higher low, put in a third higher low. It's slight, but look, let me clean this up so you can see this a little better. Ultimately, it was still a higher low, and it was just a square up. Those square ups freak everybody out. But look, it never got to the stop, okay? So all that happened here, stop would have been below the previous C, right? And we don't even put the stop right on it. Our stop is below it. It's not it, right? Stop below. Not at. I didn't type the word at, right? Stop would be below. So if your stop was below, you were fine because all it did was square up right there. Okay? Got the square up right there. Okay? Once you got the square up, you're now proceeding to go the other way. You're gonna paint like maybe another harmonic this other way. Okay? Some 886 potential. We'll see what happens when we get there. Again, same thing. It's always been the same story. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. You're either gonna reject it or you're gonna pump from there, right? So it's easy invalidation of both sides. This is where one could hedge. One could go to Proton Mail, open a second email account. That's all you need to open a Binance account. As long as you already have your VPN, you just use the same VPN. You open a second email, you take some money and put some in each account, and you open both of these positions. So first you take this one, this would be on the back test of the breakout to shoot the highs. Easy stop below the previous back test there. So that could be on one account, and on the other account you take the short here and you put the stop at the X, right? And you shoot the lows. So one of these trades is going to nail it for you, and either one of them, you're either going to get 4R or you're going to get 7R. So you're going to risk basically 1 to 4 or 1 to 7. So you're setting yourself up for 2 equitable trades. If one doesn't work, the other one is. You're going to lose 1 R in the process to gain 4, so that means you gain 3. But if this one works, you're going to lose 1 R here to gain 7, so you're going to actually get 6. So you're going to get 6R or 3R. Both of those are equitable. Okay, boys? So if you're ever wondering, but also, again, we could look for the divergences once we reach that level. We don't have the information right now. We're at the bottom. This is where we should be taking the initial, we should be in a long right here. We long this even on Twitter, okay? It was so obvious. So this is at least going to here. No matter what, it's going to go here, because if you're going to take this one and invalidate it, you got to go above it to stop it out. Now you got this price. Oh no, you would have got this price. So that's how you stop it out. And if you fail, then no matter what, you at least get this target because you put in the harmonic and you sold off. So this long right here is pretty sweet, because these 2 trades up here are the ones that are more in question. This is where the question lies. This is pretty convincing. This is the trade we're in, okay? So that's the reef. Zcash. Okay, Zcash. Looks like it's starting to get some steam. You back tested that neckline twice really nicely as support here. Curious real quick, now that we did that on, I don't even know what asset that was. It's not gonna work as good on this one because it might work. This is Binance. Other exchanges have more data. So did we hit anything? 1618. Yes, we did. Okay, there it is. Let's find it. So let me get rid of this purple line and these green lines. This green line, target. Okay. So, similar thing just happened, okay? Let's make this really clear for you guys. Okay, so we had a measured move here of a structure where we took this measured move almost from here, okay? Paste it up. When we bring it up here, this neckline is actually should be a little lower. This would be a little lower as well. And that might help this fit a little clearer. We're just trying to paint a picture, right? In a world of uncertainties, we're trying to find certainty where it doesn't exist. Oof. See that? Okay. So we took a measured move from this previous low right here, previous low, to this neckline where this double top occurred. We copied and pasted it. That landed right at the double top perfectly. Tweezer double top, 1618 from all-time high. That's it. That's your stop protection right there. I'm going to short this one too. I'm going to do the exact same thing we just did on the other one. Okay, so this trade is probably going to come up here and square up or something, and that's going to be your short entry. So you're going to do, I don't know what you're going to do, but it's going to be like a something like this, okay? So I'm gonna take, I don't like to usually short a C or a B or something like that. We usually want to wait for D's, right? Because it's not a pattern yet. This could still fail. That's why we need to stop here. Because if we're wrong, it fails. But look how tight our stop is. Stops right there. Target 1, previous neckline. Target 2. See, a lot of people are thinking alt season, right? I don't know. On the BTC pairs, maybe. We'll go into that as soon as this trend turns, okay? So just almost. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm looking at here. Then if you can get this, we'll see how we develop there. Maybe we bring it back up. And at that point, it would still be like a double top at the 1618. So on a high time, like on the 3-day or something, all this would look like on the 3-day would end up being a double top at the 1618, okay? So here's this big range, okay? Yeah. Okay. Wyckoff. This could be Wyckoff distribution at critical support, okay? So if I were the low and if I were the high, okay, see this previous high over here? Okay, so that's what I'm identifying there. Now, let's see. Yeah, looks like it would do something like this, guys. X, A, B, C, D again, right? On a larger structure. Let me make that different color. Let's go blue. No, we're already blue. Okay, there you go. So price comes up, fails, sells off, fails, comes back up, holds it, gets it, comes back up, fails, sells off again. This time fails to hold it, sells off again, and that's how we end up there. So you got a small little long Don't take that unless you were already in it from down here. Then you got some little bit of room to breathe, hit your target, exit. Then you got a nice couple short targets. Then you would come here at the B, potentially, long it back up, fail again, stop always back here below X. Because this trade is going to be a different harmonic, okay? You're going to paint this one. You're going to be painting this, okay? That's why we're taking that B trade at the purple one. It's not that we're taking the B of the purple one, it's we're taking the D right here. Okay, that's that trade that we'd be taking. So you got a short, a long, and then another short. It's 3 trades on Zcash. Probably won't leave that range. Yeah, I would say I have to keep an eye on that. AVAX, looks like we put in that low there. Got the harmonic. We just need price action continuation to develop, hold above, hit the target. See how like other targets, like right there on Zcash, here was that previous high. Zcash was already up here, okay? It had already swept that high. So it's different. Look where this one's at. That's why on one we're bullish when on another one we might be bearish. They're not in the same place, okay? It's not the same thing. So AVAX, nothing has really changed. Litecoin. Okay, Litecoin. Let's check out the 4 hour. 4 hour. Last time we saw Litecoin, we actually took a little short on it, it looks like. We said that this short would have given you 12% and it gave you 11 of it, okay? So it gave you time to get out, but you had 2.79, basically 3 to 1. You got it if you wanted it. Okay, what happened there? Why did it reverse? It looks like you hit this and held it, okay? So that's why we gotta look back left. It was also probably critical here. Critical areas, look like it was a square up from here. Anyways. Okay, so looks like you're out of it now and have back tested it and you're back at target 2. So it looks like Litecoin's good for target 3. So we should see Litecoin making a move here to sweep the highs, okay? So basically you're at the high, you haven't even swept it yet. So sweep the high, put in a higher high, sell off, back test it, put in the higher high than that, put in the divergence. Okay, so put in the high, sweep the X, back test the X. I'm looking at this X, okay? Then continue on up, and then that's where we sell off, put in a slightly lower high. Right there, again, we create our structure. Maybe we get our divergence. Maybe Bitcoin's at 69. We've also probably hit a 1618 or something. Where are we at? 1272. So the first high would be the 1272. Second high there would be a little higher like that, 1272 and 1414. The red line's a 1414. The first one, yellow line 1272, is at 270. Red line 1414, 285, and if we get it, 1618, 300. But you may put a head and shoulders in right here, wreck it. So you just, again, be looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, look at this back test right into this pocket we had. Wow, look, we got a fill too. That was our fill on band. So our measured move now of the structure, we're looking from the previous lows. I like this one here. Paste, bring it up. There it is. That's our little Tetris block, Jenga. Square up, hit it, sold off, hit it a third time. Rule of 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we got to sweep the highs. Previous highs are here. We'll make that like previous highs are yellow. So now we got to go up, we got to hold this area, we got to get up, sweep the high, hold it, put that in, back test it, fail, sell off. Okay. Ooh. AAVE is either underperforming or the best risk to reward left out of all the ones we've charted. The reason being, it is still barely, probably gonna grab a bag of this once we're done with the stream, even because this is only on spot. Spot margin does let you trade like, I don't know, 3x or 5x or something on it, but you can't like degen futures leverage it. So anyways, look, you had this trend line, upsloping trend line. I'll make it white. Upsloping trend line, and the trend line is starting to get parabolic here. And again, we're getting parabolic, means we gotta do a parabolic curve. How do we get there? Something like that, right? Sweep the highs at least. Target 2, let's just call this one more of the moon target than anything, right? And if anything, it's not even like, you don't have to even use it as take profit. Do this, take profit there, and then use the moon for the short, right? That's a much better way of, you're buying the bottom of a range and you're selling the top of a range, okay? Create the range within itself. There's the top of the range, previous midline kind of support. Maybe this doesn't even go as high. Maybe that heart line was it. If that was the case, top of the range would be here. So maybe that is the play, and you'd never get this moon bag, you know what I mean? It just depends where we are on Bitcoin. Again, here's why you don't get the moon bag. You took too long. These altcoins, basically, you have a timer. Your timer is, Bitcoin's gonna run right now from 59 to 69. So you better get your ass up there. If you don't, if you just chop around down here and maybe here and do this and you get up here, Bitcoin's at 69, that's it, it's over right there, okay? So buyers better step in, I'll help them out. We have a request for BCH, Bitcoin Cash, USD Tether. Let's get an update on our BCH chart here. Looks like oh yeah. Okay guys. Bitcoin Cash, this is a 4-hour chart. Okay, so look, let me zoom in so you can see this. I should be able to delete that. Yeah, okay. So let me clean that up for you as well. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is we're identifying this previous low point, okay, this previous swing low. So we had a swing low here where we had a low on price, and then we've now put in a higher low, okay? And on the MACD, what happened? We put in a low and a lower low of negative momentum. So does anybody know what that is? In the chat, basically it's like this, okay? So this is what we've been looking for. So we first put in the bullish divergence, okay? Here's where you get bullish divergence would have happened at the, or even convergence would have happened at the previous lows. Let me show you. Okay, so here's where on the oscillators, here's this first low, okay? You put in this first low island, here's this low, and then that lines up basically with this low here, okay? So you're converging bullishly. Then you got up here, okay, you had some rise in positive momentum, and as you sold off, you put in this first low, then you proceeded to run up again, okay, you ran up again, and now you sold off again, but you're putting in a lower lower, high or low, right? A high or low on price, okay? So that's what we're looking at here. So we're putting in a higher low on price as the oscillator is showing lower levels of negative momentum. So that's hidden bullish divergence. Price action continuation to the upside. And not only that, but look where it happened. Right at that critical previous SR flip where you broke through, back tested, put in the hidden bullish divergence. I'm gonna probably, yeah, if you're in a Bitcoin Cash long here, you're good. Stop below the neckline right now, maybe, or even stop down here. Bring this, you could bring this stop up to here for now. As this gets back up here, you're gonna first come and square this up. So you have this level here, you're gonna come square this up next. So you're gonna run up here. Then you're looking to flip that. If you can hold that, then that's your green light to move your stop up to the next level, okay? Target for Bitcoin Cash, 7.25. Current price, 640. We had a request for Sol USDT. Validated that? Not really. It played out. It hit it, sold off, hit a target, played out. Okay, so look, you had a measured move here. You hit a measured move. You had a lot going on here. Okay, so first, again, that same structure, right? This is where AAV or whatever that one we just looked at, AVAX, whatever it was, is barely right here. That's why I said take that long from here. Hasn't done none of this. So this is already played out. You had this measured move here. You took it, you hit it, you went a little higher, you sold off. Then you proceeded to run again. Now you've hit this area we said we needed to flip. You flipped it, back tested it as support, did it again. Now watch it probably diverging. Yep. There's a divergence after the targets are hit. This is what we're looking for on those other assets we just said. So you have it right here. So Sol, I'm shorting Sol. Okay. There it is. Let's see the RSI. Lower levels of RSI. Lower levels of relative strength. Proceeding to put in lower levels of relative strength. Picture this kind of little wedgie. It's not even like that, but maybe I'll do something like this. So the RSI chops in here, and then you lose this, and that's going to be your massive sell-off. Okay, so where would we be? Yeah, distribute at resistance, sell-off. Okay, Sol short, you already squared up. So, all right. AAVE USDT, AVE. Another one we were probably charting on the daily. Yeah. I have to do it like that because if I just do the minutes, it puts me to the 1440 minute mark, right? Which is the daily, but okay. So what did we get here? Look at this harmonic hit. That harmonic hit right there. Yeah, that maybe seems like it's a weird shape, but it's not. That's another bat Gartley type situation again, where we have a harmonic forming, and it's putting in that third slightly higher high. Okay, so we had the low, the higher low, or excuse me, and the third high, slightly higher low. Okay, at a 1618. Whoa, look at that. 1618. Okay, you have a 1618 from B to C right there, and you have a 618 from the X to A. So you have coinciding fibs at a double bottom, at a trend line, in a structure that should develop exactly as it is. Okay, So as this structure is developing, we should ride this trend line. Okay, this curved parabolic trend. That should be our ride up. Okay, so you have a Gartley bat type of situation here. AAVE looks like your go still here. Yeah, nothing crazy on the oscillators yet. We should see a run up here to at least target 1, which would be a square up of this previous level. Ideally, you get this if you want to be conservative. And from right now, that's not that bad. Stop below X, 2 to 1. So I'd like to be a little better. As this goes up, you could bring the stop up below D, get a little tighter with it like that. Okay, but your target would be 5.25, 525. You're currently at 370. Okay, so your move just from this level right here to that target area is 42%. 2x leverage, 84%, right? So there's still plenty of room in the tank to run. So yeah, guys, well, voice is getting kind of running out on us here. I'll post some of these charts in the chat, in the alt section later, but I think we're gonna call that for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream and all that good stuff. Yeah.